All right, Cave Maniacs, welcome back to Cowtown. We got another special guest for you here. We've interviewed this guy once before, correct?
Yes, once.
Just once.
Just once.
But you've had a lot cooler stuff to come out, right? So we have to get you sit back down. If y'all don't know who this man is, I'm gonna let him introduce yourself, and he can tell you what movies he's been in and why his face looks so familiar.
Hi, I'm a weird dude. Paul T. Taylor is my name, and I played Pinhead in Hellraiser Judgment. But okay, so you want to know what I've done since then?
Yeah,
basically. Well, there was a thing called the pandemic, which kind of interfered with
everybody's everything,
with like it did with everybody. But I did shoot a movie called Butcher's Bluff, among others. That's an '80s sort of horror throwback movie, tribute movie.
Right. A homage.
Homage. Yes. Playing a Texas sheriff, and it's a slasher film, and that's going to be coming out probably this year. I hope so. Are we in 2023?
Not yet. No, thank goodness. So next year.
Is this January
of 22?
Okay. Of 22. God, seriously, I think it might come out in 22. I don't know.
What is this Torturer?
Oh yeah. It's a short. It's a local. It's a short film that we shot in Dallas, and at a studio where the band was rehearsing next door. It was a pain in the ass. Those guys were assholes. They would not shut up. I think they were there on purpose. Anyway, it was supposed to be like, it was a Sunday or a day when no one was usually there, so we got to shoot our film there. We had a 2-day shoot in the studio, and the second day they show up and they're just like right next door and just jamming. Every time the director, Joe, would say, action, they'd start playing. It was, I don't know what the hell that was, but other than that, it was pretty cool. But the Torturer is a screenplay by Paul Kane, who is the something number one, I don't know. He's an authority on Clive Barker. Okay, so he loves all things Clive Barker. So do Joe and Catalina Manco, who have done another movie called Vice Mares, and their Little Spark Films is their company, and they do commercials for the different puzzle boxes. They do all kinds of crazy Hellraiser related stuff. So this guy Paul Kane, yes, has written this short story called The Torturer in his collection of short stories called Nail Biters. And Joe has him, or for some reason he writes a screenplay of the short story The Torturer, and they asked me to do it because they knew me because of Pinhead. And so we met at probably before Texas Frightmare, but it was kind of a turning point for our relationship. And so we did this movie, and I did not play the Torturer. I wish I had, but in the script and in the description in the book, I wasn't physically right for it. So I was the tortured, and it's hard. It's hard to play a victim, and it's not fun to play a victim, really. It was grueling. It would be much more fun to inflict the pain. Of course, I think we all know that. Did you have any residual
feelings of being a victim afterwards? Because some people say that.
No, it just sort of seemed. It was one of the first experiences where I was like, I think I don't like being a victim. Because my first movie was Sin City, and I played the assistant district attorney, and I got my arm broken by three places by Marv before we electrocuted him. And I was like, okay, that was okay. But basically, I was playing a guy who got injured.
Right.
And then I went on with my life, and I realized that, no, I've continued to play assholes and victims. Now, assholes I love playing. Assholes are fun to play.
Right.
But victims, I'm really tired of playing victims. So, I mean, obviously Pinhead's not a victim.
Right.
Obviously. Except at the very end of Judgment, and no spoilers, in case you haven't seen Hellraiser Judgment yet. And what's wrong with you?
Wait, what's wrong? Well, let's see if we can. I don't normally we'll say this to the end, but since you're on the cult part, let's see if we can't jumpstart a Gabe's Cave cult following for this gentleman. We have.
Well, that works for me.
We have this awesome Paul T. Taylor signed It's right there.
It's right there. It's in silver paint, so it shines, metallic paint.
Yeah, we went and got this from him, had him sign it, and we're going to give it away to one of you guys because we know you're spoiled. And maybe having this in your house, if you haven't seen the movie, this will make, when all your friends come over, they'll be like, oh, yeah, Pinhead. And they'll be like, yeah, but this is from Hellraiser Judgment.
Yeah, this is Paul T. Taylor as Pinhead. He looks just like his dad in the makeup. It's weird. But this is Pinhead looking away from the camera. He's shy. He's demure. He's old. He's got age spots. That's what I love about this particular Pinhead is that it's from a different era in his existence. It's not even the same Pinhead that Doug Bradley played. It's a different costume design. Anyone can be the Hell Priest. Anyone can be the lead Cenobite. Obviously, I mean, David Bruckner just shot a series for Hulu with Jamie, I don't know her last name, but a trans woman playing the lead Cenobite. It's like, and Clive Barker now has the franchise back. And, because the Weinsteins, obviously, things happened with them, and they lost the franchise. And it's like, no, I think that Hellraiser we're going to see a resurgence in big budget Hellraiser stuff. And I'm like, that's cool. That can only be good for me. I would love to see Doug Bradley play Pinhead again.
Right.
I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but I wish that there would be a remake of Hellraiser with Doug Bradley as Pinhead and me as the derelict. Oh, that would be so cool. I could be like, oh, this is what happened before. I don't know, whatever. Because, Pinhead is timeless.
And, the graphics and the special effects today would be
They'd be so amazing. Yeah, I mean, I love the I always forget the words.
Yeah.
The what kind of effects? Not natural effects. I can never remember this word. It's so dumb. Practical effects. Practical's the word. What's wrong with my brain? But practical effects of that scene in the first movie where they have Frank come out of the floor.
Yes.
That scene is so cool. So in that way, God, I love practical effects so much. But you're right. They can do so many real-looking things with CGI. And it's fantasy horror anyway, so
right.
It doesn't need to be practical effects.
Right.
Maybe the blood and gore can be practical effects. I mean, that's what's really the visceral.
Yeah.
That stuff, like the vomit in Hellraiser Judgment. That was real vomit. It wasn't real vomit, but
it looked real enough.
No. It's kind of like, what can you do? We've seen a lot of blood in our Hellraiser movies. We've seen a lot of blood in a lot of horror movies. Let's see, what'll be grosser than horror than blood? Vomit. Okay, we'll have people puking. All right.
That's
great.
Right.
so disgusting.
The movie that you started talking about, the one that's coming up,
The Torturer.
But no, that one.
Oh, Butcher's Bluff.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, you thought that was going to be a 2023 release, or is that?
I thought it was. I don't know. I mean, seriously, I shot my stuff at the beginning of the pandemic, and then shot a final scene near the, I want to say end of the pandemic, but that's anyway later, so that I could be set up to be in the sequel, which is really cool. I'm
right.
Like, thank you. You didn't kill me. You didn't injure me. I'm happy with this. I'm not a victim in this movie.
Right.
I'm just I'm just a Texas sheriff who just wants everything to be just fine. And he knows all the secrets, which is really cool. There's another movie I want to talk about, though, too. And this is for horror fans as well. And it's a fan film. It's a Friday the 13th fan film.
Okay.
And many of you might be familiar with Vengeance, which was a fan film that came out a couple years ago starring Jason Brooks as Jason. And you should look him up because he's a really good Jason. And I met him in Lawrence, Kansas at a convention a few years ago, and we hit it off. We were just like instant friends, and we played pool, and drank beer, and it was really fun, and we just became friends. And then at other events, he asked me finally, do you want to come? We're doing a sequel to Vengeance. It's called I don't remember what it's called. Okay, it's called Vengeance 2 Bloodlines. Yeah, Bloodlines. But C.J. Graham is in it, and Richie Ramone is in it, and that's all I can remember right now. But But there's a lot of great people in it. And so I'm now in a Friday the 13th movie. And it's not with the franchise, but nothing's happened with that franchise for so many years anyway. It doesn't matter. We have to make fan films. And it's going to be a really kick-ass fan film. And I'm excited because I don't want to tell you what happens to my character, but what happens to most characters in Friday the 13th movies.
Right. So
maybe that happens to me, and it might be really awesome how it happens. I don't know what else I've done with my career right now. I mean, I'm learning an audition right now for a movie that I would love to shoot in. It's not Germany. That's another one. That's another one that I looked up the other day because there's going to be they're doing a movie about the ship Demeter, the ship that Dracula was on from Transylvania to England. They're doing a movie in Germany that's just that story about the ship and all those crew members getting sick and getting killed and all that. I'm so excited about it.
You're gonna get to go try out for that.
No. That was just I was looking this movie up. I was looking that movie up today because we were talking about Dracula at my table, and I remembered that I had, for some reason, connected with this actor because he'd done something else that I was interested in. I looked him up, and he's like, he's playing Dracula in what? And it was like that movie. And it's going to be a big budget German feature. All these German actors I've never heard of before. I'm so excited. No, this is something. No, I was just trying to think of the country where this movie that I want to do is being shot. And it's something like Romania or, I don't know. It's in a faraway place, and I would have to have my passport.
Well, all these projects that you've done, one thing these people don't know, and that is a way that they can go follow you.
Oh, yeah.
So when these things do happen, and they're like, hey, man, you remember that movie that you did like 3 years ago?
Yeah.
We're putting it out.
Yeah.
Like right now.
Yeah, because I'll be all over my socials when that happens. My Instagram is The Real Paul T. Taylor. And of course it is, because, when Hellraiser Judgment came out, everyone wanted to be Paul T. Taylor. So I had to put The Real Paul T. Taylor in there. So
my Instagram is @The Real Uncle Nasty. Like everybody wants to be Uncle Nasty. So I feel you.
I know. Like, I have Facebook pages. I hate Facebook. I hate the Facebook, but I use it. So my fan page is Paul T. Taylor, and my regular page is Paul Taylor, and most people just go to my regular page, and I'll accept a lot of people, but not every, because it's my personal page.
Right.
And yet I'm like, okay. You can go to my website, paulttaylor.com, and there's that, and that's it. But the best thing for me is Instagram. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's where I put the most stuff out. If it's going to be about, this movie's happening or whatever, it's going to be Instagram or Facebook. No, I'm not real good about keeping up with my website.
And these fan films,
huh?
They're all on YouTube. The fan films, you can find like Vengeance, and
it's not out yet.
The first Vengeance,
I don't know.
Okay,
I just know that I have a DVD that was given to me.
By the time you guys see this, which what I'm saying right now will be irrelevant because you'll be seeing it as I'm saying it, and it'll be being said. I think right.
You said that very well.
There'll be something down here that the stuff that we can find of his, we will put it down here so that you can go straight to it. That way, yeah,
absolutely.
And a little Googling never hurt nobody.
Yeah. Oh, well, you know what? There's one more thing. I mean, all you really have to do if you want to see my work, my body of work, is go on IMDb. That's IMDb, InternetMovieDatabase.com. And you can find me, Paul T. Taylor, and you can see all of the stuff I've done with my career.
Don't forget, you guys, we're going to give this away here on this interview.
Please, like me.
That's my Pinhead voice, by the way, in the movie.
All right, Cave Maniacs, Paul T. Taylor, man. He's a great guy. You should check him out if he's ever at a con near you. Thank you, sir.